Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and today I'm rounding out my coverage of the new World War II primary weapons available in Battlefield 1 with the Mosin-Nagant M38 Carbine. And yes, that is how I'm going to pronounce it today. I'm sorry if that's wrong. And as in previous videos, I'll say here that I'm not all that happy about these weapons requiring a pre-order of the next title, considering the premium pass exists and there's an ultimate edition of Battlefield 1. But if the weapons eventually come to the game for everyone, then I'm cool with it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about or how to get these weapons, I'll link to my video explaining it in the description below. But back to today. Let's kick things off with the basics of the weapon. Well, this is a carbine scout rifle with a one-shot kill sweet spot ranging from 60 meters up to 98 meters. These are exactly the same parameters as the Russian 1895 sniper and infantry. So if you're used to using those weapons, then you'll likely be very comfortable using this new Mosin-Nagant in similar situations. From here, I can tell you that it has a rate of fire of 55 rounds per minute. As a point of reference, the ever popular SMLE is ever so slightly slower at 53 RPM, and the Ross is faster at 62 RPM. So essentially the stat on the Mosin-Nagant is unspectacular, not too fast and not too slow. Then the final basic stat is that it can utilize 5 rounds per reload, which again is pretty standard for a lot of scout weapons in Battlefield 1. Now the reason I'm giving you such limited concrete feedback statistically is because this weapon isn't yet on Simply.com, where I and many others usually get our detailed stats. But we can make another deduction from what we already know about Battlefield 1, and that is that carbine variants generally have better spread stats, including when moving and also when firing from the hip. So as long as this variant doesn't have altered stats due to it being a World War II model, it's going to be more versatile at pulling off more flashy shots, such as strafing and shooting. Coming out to sprint to engage someone and no scoping should be somewhat more reliable when using this variant than when using the infantry or the marksman. So if you like the Mosin-Nagant already, and you like playing in an aggressive or flashy manner, then you might take to this variant nicely. Moving on from there, the other advantage that infantry and carbine variants generally have is that they can chamber their next round while staying aiming down sight. But you'll notice that I'm essentially never doing that with this weapon, and this time it isn't just because I'm used to zooming out after every shot. I actually much prefer to do so with this weapon, and I'll show you why. So here we are inside an empty world, all of our own. Let's now try shooting this car without de-scoping between the shots. And just notice how much of the screen is obstructed by the reload action. Like, if we try, after this reload's done, we'll try something a bit further away. Say I'm trying to hit someone up over sort of this direction here. You aren't seeing anything for, I don't know, quarter to half a second as the gun comes up there. I just can't really get on with that, and I'll try it against something else. Give me 2 seconds to go and grab a different weapon. Alright, here's the Ross infantry. Here's the car. You ready? Look at how much better that is. It just stays almost entirely still. If we go and look over this way, so there's someone all the way over there, I can still... Well, great example, only one bullet left. If we go over there, look, I can still see most of what I'm looking at for most of the time. Personally, I think that's way, way better, and I would see the point in staying ADS whilst reloading with this option. But someone might say, well, that's not fair, you're comparing an infantry to a carbine variant there, so let me go and grab something else. Alright, I've chosen another carbine at random. This is the Gewehr M95. Let's see what happens when we do this. Oh, I mean, look at it. It's just so much better. All the way over there. See, I've just done it again. Come on, get good. All the way over there. 1, 2. I can see everything almost the entire time. I understand why you'd stay scoped with these, but with the Mosin-Nagant Carbine, no, I just don't get it. I just don't see it. And before anyone says, well, this is how they're designed because straight pull bolts and blah 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 and everything else, yes, I'm not questioning the realism. I'm just saying that if you lose that much visibility between shots, I don't personally see much reason to stay in ADS. I actually find it easier to keep my eyes on the target by coming out of ADS between shots with this weapon. Some people may find otherwise, so you might want to give it a try just to see where you lie on the issue, but I feel like most people will feel similarly on this occasion. The next port of call is what level of capability this weapon has of acquiring a target rapidly and shooting, or what some people would refer to as quickscoping. I won't call it that specifically as there isn't a scope on this weapon, but I'm sure you get the idea. And you will have seen and will likely see more in the footage here and there that it is possible. This is console footage, so keep that in mind, and it likely will be far easier to pull off on PC, but it is still possible on console, more so than I had initially expected actually. But also keep in mind that it's nothing like it used to be since the auto-rotation nerf. Infantry and carbine scouts used to be the bane of Battlefield 1 on console. If you've no idea what I'm talking about, I made this video ages ago about the Martini Henry and how to make it super overpowered on console. Feel free to watch that to see how things used to be. It was entirely different, I promise. But at this point in time, auto-rotation is pretty negligible. You can pop shot, but your aim really does have to be on point, or you're just going to get destroyed. It's not a forgiving strategy, and I wouldn't advise it unless you really know what you're doing. And even more so if you've got auto-rotation turned off, obviously. Plus, keep in mind that this isn't a rifle with a super close range sweet spot, so whether you're pop shotting or otherwise, bring along a pistol you're comfortable with, and be prepared to switch to it quickly to finish people off. Especially considering what I said earlier about your vision being obstructed by a reload if you're trying to stay ADS'd. A sidearm really is going to be useful with this weapon. The one you've seen me using in the footage today is the Red Baron's P08, as my choice of sidearm tends to go through different phases. Whatever you prefer, make sure you're always ready to get a quick shot or two off after hitting someone in the body with the Mosin. And back to the Mosin-Nagant itself, this has been the maximum 2x magnification you've been seeing me use. On many occasions, I tend to use the lowest possible, but for infantry and carbine scouts specifically, I now tend to prefer the increased magnification. I just find it too difficult to see what I'm looking at outside of close range if I have it too low on a weapon that relies so much on precision, such as this one. With that covered, I will say it's definitely a fun weapon. I don't think it's going to change the game or anything like that, but it could be worth a go if you enjoy scout carbines. Plus, you know it's capable of doing a good job when you receive accusation messages. No, I'm not cheating. The gun is actually just capable of doing those things, good sir. So overall, it's a mid-range scout option. It's beaten at close range by weapons such as the Martini, the Arisaka, and the Ross, and it's beaten at long range by things like the Enfield, the Gewehr 98, and the M1903. But at mid-range, it's a machine. One-shot kills are easy pickings, and it's a good competitor for the Russian 1895. It's definitely worth giving a go if you're curious, but if you want my opinion, the king of the scout class for an unscoped weapon is still the Ross Infantry. But this is all just my opinion. What do you think? Do you like the look of the new Mosin-Nagant Carbine, and what's your current favourite infantry or carbine variant? Let me know in the comments below. Now let's go over to the Board of Awesome for the epic people who allow you to get content from me full-time by supporting the channel on Patreon. They are the main reason you're watching this video right now, so thanks to everyone on here. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, the link to the Patreon page is in the description and my pinned comment. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you don't want to miss future videos, remember to turn on notifications with the bell button, and feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I'm GetGoodGuy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.